Hi, my name's Eric Jemison. I'm Director High Performance with New South Wales Department of Education and Communities. I was previously Principal at Plumpton High School, a large secondary school in Western Sydney with about 1,100 students. I would like to share with you about our journey at Plumpton High School with the Beacon Foundation and what Beacon Foundation brought to our school and how much richness it added to the lives of students during that partnership and continues to do so. Back in 2009, when we first started working with Beacon Foundation, we, dreamed a vision about what might be possible for our students and how we could add value to them in their development from earlier years in the secondary school through to helping build their awareness and building their capabilities in preparing them for their exit from school. Hopefully picking up some jobs along the way or certainly setting up possibilities for them as we did that. Beacon Foundation added enormously to that dream, that vision that we were creating by bringing a lot of ideas, a lot of richness, a lot of connections for us and a lot of possibilities really. Our task within the school was to consider those possibilities and then think about how do we make this work in a way that's going to be authentic, it's going to be real for people within the school, it's going to be meaningful, it's going to impact positively on student lives in a way that became fundamental to the school and not as an add-on, not as this additional thing that we looked at from time to time. It had to be mainstream, it had to be part of our core. And so that's what we set about doing. It was a wonderful partnership and it continues to be a wonderful partnership where Beacon did bring all of those things, all of those ideas, the spark, the creativity. They became the catalyst for realising the vision. And from the early days and sort of establishing what it was that we thought might be possible, through to then a design of, importantly, working out what our purpose was going to be as a result of that. And I think anyone who engages in any undertaking like this, the critical part is working out purpose, working out what's your why. Why are you involved? Why will this be important to the school? Before you even think about how you're going to do it or what it is that you want. So that is a really fundamental part, and we worked on that very hard at Plumpton particularly in those early days. Once we worked out our purpose and dreamt the possibilities for the future, we're then able to articulate what it is that we wanted for our students out of it. What were the capabilities, what was the thinking, what were the skills that we wanted our students to develop, what were the experiences that we wanted them to have. And then it became, if that's what we want for our students, what does that mean for our staff members? What does it mean for our leadership in our school? What does it mean for establishing partnerships with other people? And so a really strong focus on what it was that we wanted, what it was that we wanted for our students and what that meant for our staff and for our partnerships for involving Beacon and for working beyond our school with other schools as well. Once we had a fairly good idea of what it was that we wanted out of the whole thing, then finally we thought about, okay, how are we going to go about doing this? How are we going to build this? What are the designs? What are the structures? What are the processes? What are the systems that will support it? And an absolutely fundamental one to that was, as I said earlier, making it mainstream, making it really important to the school that this is not about something additional. It's not an extra thing that we do. It will help us to develop students and help design their career pathways for them and connect them with that, give them the experiences, give them the exposure, help them to have a taste of all of those things, while at the same time building the capabilities to prepare them to engage in those career possibilities. So in all of that, Beacon became very strong partners, and it wasn't just them Beacon coming in with ideas or connections. It was about co-constructing a future there and a design that was going to deliver all of the things that we're interested in. And obviously that grew over time. You know, the ideas grew because once we had a base, once we knew what the purpose was, once that became clear, the design and the ideas grew out of it. But I think it was the most important thing in all of that was working out why, and then working out what it was that we wanted for our students. Once we had that, then we could go to how we were going to go about doing it. And I would really commend people to think, you know, very carefully about the why and the what before they jump into how they might go about doing things. Over time, I saw Beacon have, it was actually in a very quick time, Beacon had an amazing impact on the school, on our operations, and on the lives of our students. We had a big student leadership group, the Beacon Ambassadors, that very quickly we had 28 students who had applied to be a Beacon Ambassador, and they took on leadership roles related to Beacon, and really good, meaningful roles. And they became the champions of what we were doing, as well as their staff members. We had a strong group of leaders and staff leaders within the school who were very committed and became champions amongst staff, and created a very positive vibe, a really good culture within our bigger culture at the school. And it wasn't long before people could see, I think, that this was making a difference to students' lives, that they could see new meaning to, you know, what they were doing at school and how that connected with potential for the future, or their prospects for the future. So they were key things. We had a whole lot of other activities that went along with that. Once we were establishing that culture and building that and continually reinforcing that message, because the message, you know, that narrative has to go along with the journey. Once we were able to do that, then in working out how we were to go about it, we had a mix of big events and celebrations, right through to how we were connecting with each student and designing career pathways and building their profiles in terms of what general capabilities were they developing along the way, and what did they need to develop, and how could we support them in doing that. So we had a lovely blend of the big things to go along with our day-to-day operations that made that real. And again, Beacon were just wonderful partners in facilitating that, in being on board with what it was that we're on about, and in adding to the design and enhancing our work there. So I've seen a lot of things. I've been in education for a long time, but rarely have I seen something to have the impact that this had, and the added meaning that it brought to students' lives, where all of a sudden school became relevant to them and meaningful, and they had plans and they had ideas and they had pathways to pursue. So I really couldn't speak more highly of our partnership with Beacon Foundation, and just have been delighted to be part of it. Thank you.